Como é que é, pessoal? Bem-vindos novamente ao Undergrounds Voice ao vivo. Hoje tenho o prazer de receber um convidado que dispensa apresentações, o enorme Harley Flanagan. Man, thank you so much for being here. It's a huge honor to meet you and to have you there at Underground's Voice.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having me.
Man, you're a legend. You're one of those immortal artists, and you'll always be a very important part of hardcore history and extreme music too. You already had a solid career before I was born, so it's awesome. And you and Cro-Mags were and still are a huge influence for many bands and not only hardcore bands. For example, Metallica was highly influenced by you to write Kill 'Em All, and now they are who they are, right? And and also a lot of new bands that are influenced by you. So how do you feel about that?
Um, it's of course it's a huge honor. It's it's very humbling, because I come from a very simple background, very as far as no money, and music was just the only outlet I had. It was, and I would have never expected that. Not only would it be my way of surviving, but that it would influence so many people, and it's really unbelievable, that so many people can identify with the music, whether it's the whether it's purely just the chord structure and the music, or whether it's the lyrics, because this was a very it's been a hell of a journey, and to know that my music has been played in so many people's lives, and that it brings back even people that I've never met and people who've never seen me play, those songs have some meaning to them. And man, it's a powerful thing to share with people. um, I know how important it is for me, especially just being a fan of music myself, and you know um, and knowing how powerful music is. It can really get you through some very difficult times. So to be blessed with having the ability to reach people in that way is it's incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome. And after 20 years after the last album with Cro-Mags, you released a new album and a new EP with
Yeah,
the same vibe, with the same rage and strength that you have like 30 years ago. So how's that possible?
man. A tiger cannot change its stripes, man. It's gonna stay a tiger till it dies. And so maybe I add some new techniques to my repertoire, but it's still the same animal. Maybe I learned some new ways to hunt, but it's still the same. I'm still doing my thing. I'm actually in the recording studio again. I was just in the studio last week with the same engineers working on the next record. So I already have between 15 and 16 new ideas for songs that are not complete, but they're getting close. So I'm probably going to take, whatever the correct number is, whether it winds up being 12 or 14 or whatever. I'm going to take the best number of songs that makes for the best album, from beginning to end, and then I'm just going to isolate it. But right now, I'm very busy. I figure with all this Corona shit going on, you have to try to do something with the time. You have to try to be positive, or you're going to go crazy. Number one, but number two, you know, there's no such thing as free time. It's if you have time where you're not being forced to work, or where you don't have to do something, man, that time is a gift. So if I have free time, man, I'm gonna make some music. If I can't go out and play concerts right now, then fuck, man, I'm gonna get in the recording studio and make some music. This is my job, you know.
Looking forward for these new songs.
Yeah, man, me too.
Yeah, as we said in the beginning, it was released 20 years after the last album. It's a great
Yeah,
comeback because it's really an incredible album, as good as the Age of Quarrel best wishes, for example.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
They're actually songs that you wrote recently or songs that you've been writing all over the years?
You know what? I wrote almost everything for that record, with the exception of maybe 5 songs. I wrote everything in the studio. I went into the studio with like almost half the record written, and the rest of it I created in there because I like to keep it fresh, you know. So I always go in with, like, right now I'm in the studio with about half of it again was written before, and the other half of it I kind of created there because that way it has a good combination of really tight precision stuff that you've been practicing and you have it really locked in, but then you also have a certain amount of spontaneous energy that, because I'll tell you, the first time you come up with an idea, sometimes is the magic right there. And sometimes the more times you practice it and try to make it perfect, you start to lose a little bit of that fire that you had the very first time, like when you were just like looking at each other and just like, and you're just like, oh, and you're just in that moment. And then so that's why I realized there has to be a combination. I go in with a certain amount of stuff that's very practiced, very organized, and then I give myself room to just go to war,
Yeah,
you know?
it's awesome. And all the shows and plans for this comeback were postponed due to the
Yeah.
pandemic. So that's the main reason for a ferocious EP like 2020 be released.
Yeah.
Focused on in these crazy times we're living in.
Yeah. 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 I figured now is a great opportunity for me to give music to the people because they need it. And if I can't go out there and play it, I'll make it. And it's a record that when you see it's coming out now, it's going to be available. They just made it available on CD and vinyl. And when you read the lyrics and when you look at the art and you see the whole package, it's really something that it's like a time capsule that everybody on this planet can relate to right now. Like, we were all stuck in this mess together. It doesn't matter what your religion, your politics, we're all going through some really crazy times right now, the whole world. And some people maybe are pretending differently, but you can't escape the reality that the world is in a very, very unusual situation.
Yeah.
I've never seen nothing like this in my life, and I've seen a lot. So
Yeah. If someone have seen a lot of this life, it's you. Yeah.
for sure, man. I feel like for me, every year is like a dog's year, and I have like cats' lives. So I have 9 lives, and every year is 7 years.
Well, you guys did a quarantine show, a live show a few days after the tour was postponed. What can
Yeah.
you tell us about this experience to play
Well,
for
it was,
nobody?
the whole situation was crazy because that same day we were supposed to play a concert with Ice T's band Body Count,
Yeah.
and it was supposed to be at the club Webster Hall where I had my infamous incident that happened. For those of you who don't know, you can just look it up. I'm just gonna say, some people got stabbed, some people got bit. I got arrested. And anyway, so that was the short version. But so we were returning to Webster Hall. It was a big deal. I was never supposed to be allowed in there again. And we were gonna play with Body Count, and it was really looking forward to it. And then this Corona situation started to happen, and every day different countries are starting to shut down borders, and things are getting closer and closer. And we're really wondering, like, okay, man, this hasn't hit us yet, but it's coming. Is this show still on, right? So every day we're getting ready, we're practicing the club, we're calling them. Every day they said the show's happening. Within 48 hours, the governor and the mayor canceled all public gatherings in New York. So we had my band at the rehearsal studio, and we are like, man, what are we going to do? And I looked at my laptop that was sitting there, and I said, you know what? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a show. We're gonna set up all of our gear. We're gonna put up our backdrop just like we're doing a real concert, and I'm gonna put it on all of my social media, and we're gonna give everybody a free concert like we're doing the show that we were supposed to do because everybody's fucked right now. You know, our show got canceled. This show is a big deal for me, but fuck my show. Everybody's fucking life is canceled right now. Everybody's stuck in their house. So let's just play a show and put it on my social media. So we did that, and it wound up having over 200,000 people watching it worldwide.
It's amazing.
It was unbelievable. I could have not hit in my wildest imagination think that some simple idea like this would have the type of impact. I was like, holy shit. This, you know. And so, but we did a very good job because, you know, I saw a lot of people, even some famous people were doing terrible stuff in their like in their living room, you know. It's like, oh my God. But because I was just working with a production company doing a movie, the same people who did the movie's called Between Wars. It's not out yet, but the song and the video that I did has footage from that movie. So when the show got canceled, we called the video production people from the movie, and we said, "Yo, man, we need some cameras, we need some crew, bang, 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 bang." And then we went and we set up at the rehearsal studio, and pow, you know. And it was cool to play for nobody. I don't give a fuck, man. You know what? I have fun when I play.
Yeah.
I have fun when I'm practicing. When I'm practicing with my band, I go just as crazy as if there's an audience. The only difference was that you have to remember that you're on camera, so you can't like start talking some stupid shit to each other between songs. You can't start scratching your ass or picking your nose because the whole world's gonna watch it, you know? So you just have to treat it like there's an actual audience there. So then I'm just like, okay, I'm playing to these people over there. You know what? It was fun.
This show was amazing. I already saw the video like 15 times in my life, probably.
Perfect, man. Thank you.
That's
Hey, you know what? This is the punk rock hardcore way. You know, I come from a poor family, and when bad situations happen, you have to figure out how to do something positive with it because bad situations are always going to happen. They're going to happen no matter what. Whether you have no money or whether you have a lot of money, bad situations are going to happen. So you have to learn how to pivot, how to adjust. Okay, this I didn't expect this, so okay, I'll do that. You know, pow. So instead of playing a concert for 1,500 people, I did a concert for 200,000 people.
yeah.
I did the biggest concert of my life, all over the world in one show at one time.
That's true. That's true. And you also did a tour to celebrate the third anniversary of Best Wishes. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it was a short one, but it was fun, and it was great to play that album. I hadn't played some of them songs in a long time.
yeah, it's kind of a controversial album at the time, and many fans didn't like it.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
I know.
nowadays, it's considered one of the best hardcore crossover or thrash metal or whatever album.
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing, you know. And it's and the truth is, I know a lot of people who hated it when it came out, who now it's one of their favorite records because now that they've gotten older, they have a wider range of what they listen to. Now they listen to more metal than they maybe did when they were only listening to hardcore or something like that, you know. So you know what? At the time, it was I was just doing what felt natural for me, man. You know, I was starting to listen to a lot of metal, and honestly, at that time, I was getting really bored with that period of New York hardcore and what was happening at CBGB's. All that shit was all kind of sounding like regurgitated shit. Like it was all just more of the same. So like I was getting more into songwriting, you know, and I think now I'm finding more of a happy balance of all of the elements that I've, you know, music and art are very similar as far as graphic art. You know, it's like you go through different stages in your life before you really find your definitive style. So, and over the years, you perfect certain elements. And now I think I'm finally starting to bring all those elements together. You know, a little bit from this period, a little bit from this period, but I'm bringing it together in a blend where it's organic. You know,
You can see that on this new album and the EP.
yeah, that's where I'm trying to go, and always leaving the door open for more creativity because I think on the new thing I'm doing right now, it has some similar vibes, but I would say that there's definitely some very dark, heavy, almost Black Sabbath, almost jazz, almost the inspiration is just it's always coming from all over the place. But the same ingredients that I was having in my soul in my writing in the early days, it's still there, man. It's still the same. Still the same driving elements. Those ingredients are always going to be there. There's always going to be a certain amount of discharge, a certain amount of Bad Brains, a certain amount of Motorhead, a certain amount of Black Sabbath, you know, a certain amount of Venom. Those things are all in there. That was what inspired me to create the style that I created. Those things you mix in those elements with my whole experience of punk through hardcore through metal and all the other styles of music.
Yeah, you referred now Venom. It's funny because I really think that Kronos is a huge influence in your sound. Am I right?
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking love Kronos.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You guys have already a scheduled tour for this year. If the
Yeah.
pandemic allows that,
Yeah.
you'll have a
We're
gig.
supposed to be busy from like June, I think. I don't even know, but I think from June all the way till like December. So I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure maybe a few things are going to get moved around or who knows, but you know what? You just have to prepare, and whatever happens, you deal with it when it comes. I'm ready to do the tour. And in the meantime, I'm working on music. And if it doesn't happen, I will find other ways to, keep active. This shit is going to pass. It's just right now, this is the state of the world. This is where we're at, and we're going to get through this. People need to just fucking chill out, relax, man. I know everybody's starting to lose their minds a little bit. It's getting crazy over here, but we'll be all right.
it's supposed to have a show here in Portugal. I think in July. We don't know if it will happen, but it would be awesome, of course.
Yeah, but just make sure that you're realistic about shit, man. Don't start fucking. I, that's all I'm gonna say, man. I can't give anybody any advice, but we're all in this shit together.
Yeah. You had a major lawsuit against former members of the band. Um,
Actually, I didn't ever. It wasn't really a lawsuit. It was a legal settlement. There was, because these guys had been using the name Cro-Mags for a long time, and it wasn't the founding members, and it wasn't even people who owned the name. They were just doing it. It was the old singer, but he was not even originally in the band, and he was only on fucking. Anyway, the history is too long to explain, but the short story is, for a long time, they were playing with the name, and I was sending cease and desist notices to the clubs and the promoters and everybody else, and they were just basically saying, "Fuck you, take me to court," because they know that it's a very expensive process, and they know that I had two kids and that I have a life and that I can't really afford to throw $100,000 at something when I have to feed my kids and take care of my bills. So it just turned into really just a "fuck you, we're just going to do it anyway." So you had one guy who used to be in the band with a bunch of scabs ripping off, you know, basically everybody who's ever been in the band and the fans. And doing this for 20 years without writing a fucking one new song gets a little bit played out. Anyway, one day, I literally, I had a dream, and Lemmy came to me in my dream and he said, "Take it back, mate. It's yours. You started it." And I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I mean, it was so, it was like so real that I could like still smell the cigarettes and the fucking Jack Daniels. And I'm like, "Well, he's dead though, so this has to be a dream. I wasn't hanging out with him last night. It was that real." And I looked at my wife and I said, "Yo, I gotta fucking stop this shit. I gotta put an end to this shit, man. I gotta take my name back. This is my name. I came up with this shit. I wrote these songs. I did demos before I knew any of these guys. And like these guys are out making money and I'm not even putting money in my kids' pockets with what I created. Like, fuck this, man. I'm taking my shit back." So we had to go to court, and this motherfucker had like free lawyers and this and that, like fanboy lawyers and shit. And I had to spend money, and the shit was expensive, man. I spent a lot of fucking money fighting for what is for its mine. But I'll tell you right now, and I've always said it all these years, I've always been willing to speak to anybody from all the lineups. Those guys not my enemies. If I could have made music with them again, I would have, man. You know, for me, the fans are more important than fighting with these guys. And if these guys can't get past whatever their fucking problems are, that's their problems. Then if you know,
You know,
so I'm,
I think the fans were always by your side and not so much by inside, right?
you know what? I can't really get into the second guessing, and I don't blame fans for what their passion dictates.
Yeah.
You know, some people like Black Sabbath with Ronnie James Dio. Some people like with better with Ozzy. Some people like fucking Ian Gillan. I mean, this, you, I just, my only problem is that none of these guys were able to get past themselves enough to come to the table and have a discussion. Because if you can't work with somebody for 45 minutes on a stage and go and make thousands of fucking people happy, what the fuck is your problem, man?
Yeah.
Like, like literally, we could have made so many people so fucking happy to just get together for one fucking time. That doesn't mean it has to happen forever. I mean, life is short, man.
Yeah.
And if you can't get past your own ego and your own anger and your own bitterness for the greater good of mankind, which is if you and three other motherfuckers have the ability to make thousands of people feel better for fucking 45 minutes, just to take a steam off their life, just to unleash some of what they need to do. And if you can't fucking do that for them, and you don't deserve them.
Yeah.
What the fuck can I tell you, man? And you don't deserve my repeated attempts to always make fucking peace. After a while, it feels like an insult. Like, you know, I'm not fucking begging. you know, my life is pretty fucking good, man. I'm actually happier now than I ever have been. So, you know, it is what it is. But I'm glad to be past that. I'm glad to, and now that I have control over everything, if those guys ever do want to have a discussion, my door is always open. I'm always willing to talk. I just believe people have to come at each other like, how can we do? What can we do to make things work? But when people want to come at you like, it's gonna be this and it's gonna be, then there's no room for a conversation. You know?
Who knows? Who knows if someday it can happen?
Man, you know what? Life is full of mysteries, my brother. It really is. You can think what you want to think today, and tomorrow can surprise the hell out of you.
That's true. And
Yeah.
beside all these legal problems, the band always have thousands of lineup changes and has been.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just like I just felt like That first era was a very powerful thing that should have been recognized on a bigger level, but I feel that because of the circumstances in the music business, we kind of got shortchanged. So for me, that's always been a little bit of a mark on what could have or should have been. Now, yes, I realize everybody in that lineup was a complete fucking asshole, including myself at that point. I was young, you know. I'm not going to pretend that I was some so much more smarter or sophisticated or anything else. We were all young, stupid, fucking naive, out of our minds, you know, some more than others. So I try not to blame those guys any more than I blame myself for my mistakes as a youth.
Yeah.
You know, but I have kids now, so you recognize this shit as you watch your kids growing up, and you go, oh, you know, you know, I remember being this way. You know, if you don't have kids around you or younger people around you, you don't realize this shit.
You said many times that if it wasn't going to be music, it was going to be crime. So it's more true to say that Cro-Mags survived because of you, or you survived because of Cro-Mags.
I'd say that it's a symbiotic thing because it's an extension of me. Obviously, it's like, you know, if you look at it like this, okay, all the lineups aside, okay, I'm the only person that's been there from the beginning. I came up with the name, and I'm the last man on deck. And it's kind of like if you look at Motorhead, the very first Motorhead album, On Parole, that didn't even have Fast Eddie Clark or Filthy Animal Taylor on it. That was their first album, just like Age of Quarrel was our first album. We only did one record with that lineup. Motorhead only did one record with their first lineup. And as long as there was a Lemmy, there was a Motorhead. So as long as there's a me, there will be a Cro-Mags. And I am happy to have worked with all these people in one way or another for what they you know what they added at the different times. And I can't say for sure what the future will bring, but I know as long as I'm alive, Cro-Mags is going to be a vessel for me to create music, and just like Motorhead was for Lemmy.
Yeah. I always expect the unexpected from Cro-Mags. So, beside this future album you already talked, what are your future plans for the near future?
Well, right now, as we all know, it's everything is a little bit of a mystery. But in the meantime, we're booking shows as if they're going to happen. I'm in the studio making new music so that we can release it according to whatever schedule makes sense. You know, if the shows don't have, if some of the shows get canceled, maybe we put out some more music sooner just to keep people, you know, happy. Keeping busy, man. That's my goal. That's all. That's the only thing I can plan. We are planning as if everything's going to be okay, but whatever happens, we're going to keep going forward.
I already did hundreds of interviews, but honestly, this one was one of the most difficult to prepare because there would be so much to talk about you, about your life, about your career. We could be talking for hours. You already have
Yeah,
a book, and you should have a film too, or a movie.
that may happen. You never know.
It would make sense. Uh, and I really hope to meet you someday so we can talk more. Would be
Well, we're supposed to play in Portugal, so
Yeah,
we shall see. You
I'll
know,
I'll see you there for sure.
hopefully.
Finally, thank you so much for being here. It's a huge honor for me.
And thank you so much for having me, and to all the people over there who appreciate my music. Thank you so much, and I hope to come play it in person for you soon. I really look forward to it, and yes, everybody, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and just remember to have patience with each other. The whole world is in a very difficult situation right now, so try to treat other people the way you would like to be treated yourself, and hopefully we can all go forward and get through this together.
Yeah. Once again, thank you, and please stay safe too, and see you
Thank
soon.
you, my brother.
Take
Thank you. You too. Ciao.
care.